What a busy week I've had. Just not only with crochet, but mom and wife life. We had orthodontist appointments. We had a birthday. Our oldest, our daughter Grace, turned 22 this week, and my husband's been away all week, so it's just been, you know, a little bit of extra duties around here, but crazy busy week. Positive note, I am feeling better. Much, much better. So that is definitely a good thing. I'm not 100%, but I'm maybe 95. So that's better than I was a week ago. And today's tea, this is one of my favorites, and you're all going to think I'm crazy, but it's called Christmas Morning by Stash. It's one of my favorite teas, and it is a limited time. It comes out usually around November here in our part of the world, and I picked up quite a few boxes clearance last year at one of our stores, so because it can be a little pricey. It can be like $5 or $6, I think, a box. So I managed to get it. I must have been less than 50% off because I remember paying a little over $2 a box. So I grabbed what I could and kind of been hoarding it. But I'm just craving Christmas. I don't know why. I mean, I love Christmas, but you know, I don't mind letting Halloween have its time and whatnot, because here in our part of the world, we've already had our Thanksgiving. So I'm just ready to start getting out all the Christmas decorations, and maybe because I've done a little shopping last week and I picked up a couple of Christmas decorations at a thrift store. The family and I went out thrifting last Saturday and found some great things. And I picked up some new things too at a few of the other stores that we like to go to. So maybe that's part of it, but yeah, so this is a blend of black tea and jasmine green tea, and it is so yummy. Oh. I'm not sure why it's called Christmas Morning because it really doesn't have anything I would think of that would make me think of Christmas, but I adore it. For all my empties from this week of what I've been working on, and I'm going to show you just a second, but I'm actually missing a few, but that is quite a few. I'm ready to recycle these now. I've been busy making Christmas stockings all week, and I have not gone down to the store that I mentioned in my last video that sells the local handmade items because this week has just been crazy, and I wanted to have a few to take down. So I'm hoping to go in early next week and see if they'll accept my items for sale. But here's one of them, and I think this is probably my favorite. That is with the green heather yarn, if you remember, from my yarn haul, and I will put that somewhere here if you missed it. So soft. I loved working with this yarn. It was amazing. It was soft. It felt great in my hands. It didn't give me any pain. Big thumbs up for that yarn. Loops and Thread is the brand. So, oh, I see a couple of strings or yarn I got to cut. But so that's the green heather. And a couple of these are made with Red Heart Christmas stocking pattern, and I'll link that down below in the description for a few you've asked what I was using. And a couple I made my own pattern up. Testing it out. I'm not ready to share that yet because it still needs some tweaking, but I think they turned out pretty good. That is, let me see, I have to look and see. Okay, so this is the Red Heart too. And this, it's hard to tell, but this is not white. It's actually that icy blue yarn with the navy, and in person it definitely looks bluer. So there's that one. And this one is my pattern, isn't it? Nope, this one. Yes, this one is my pattern. I call it a farmhouse stitch. I don't know why, but that's what I call it. But I think that turned out pretty good. And that's the Burgundy Heather, I think it was called, from Loops and Thread. Very happy with it. And then this is my pattern too. The green forest tweed. And I also did white tweed for something different, but I think they turned out beautiful. Those first stockings I showed you, those are made with a 5-weight, chunky weight yarn. These are more the traditional, I'd say, stockings with Red Heart. It's the sparkle yarn. Some of this is from Mary Maxim, and some of it is, I think is it Red Heart Sparkle? I can't remember. So we have that red and the white sparkly too. Oh yeah, you can see that a little bit there. And then I have two in this shade. More of a traditional Christmassy red. So yes, I'll let you know next week how that goes. And then I finally, you know, best laid plans I had a couple of weeks ago, I finally got around to testing the Ghost from the Love and Lemon. I picked this up from Home Sense, which is Home Goods to all you American friends. Home Sense, and it said compare at $10. It was $6.99. I also got the pumpkin, which I don't know will ever get done, at least not with the kit. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how this went. Okay, we're going to see if this was worth $6.99. I do like that it's a resealable bag, so you can, if you're working on it, you can put it back in and you won't lose it, or if you're traveling with it and working on it, you won't lose the pieces, so that's nice. Okay, so we have our stuffing, we have our yarn, and just the littlest bit of purple. Oh, it even gave us some stitch markers and a darning needle, which I have here in my little bowl, but it's nice they gave it. And I will try this hook and we'll see how it works. And if I don't like it, I do have my crochet hooks right here beside me to switch to. And then the instructions. Read before beginning. So the front of this, it just gives you a few tips. It shows you all the stitches that you're going to be making. Okay. There's even a QR code that takes you to a video right here if you want to see how it's made. Right there. So, okay, the instructions are on the back. So. All right, I put my instructions up there. Okay, so it says to start with a magic ring. Gonna be honest, not a fan. Don't like it, never could master it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to chain 3. This hook is insanely small. It is a 2.0. So I have 3 chains and I'm going to slip stitch into the first, okay? And there I have my loop. And we're gonna do 6 single crochets in the middle. And as I said, I am completely self-taught crocheter. I don't know if I always do everything the way you're supposed to, but I always like the end result, so I figure doesn't matter if I'm doing it technically perfect. And I'm not necessarily a great teacher with this, but I will certainly, my hope is that I can share some patterns and some tips with you all that I have learned as self-taught as we go along on this channel. I do not like this hook. I think I'm going to switch to a different one. I don't have a 2.0, and the instructions do say do not change the size of the hook. So it's probably not the smartest thing, but worst comes to worst, I have lots of worsted weight white yarn. If I have to use a little extra of my own, I will do that. But that hook was just not working for me. I did not like it. So we're going to try this again. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 and okay, now we're going to start the pattern. Okay, this has taken me much longer than it should have. This yarn is terrible. It splits so incredibly bad. Like, it just splits like awful. And I've had to stop and fix it, stop and fix it, stop and fix it. And a couple of the directions weren't so great, so I've had to take it apart a couple of times and figure it out. As you can see, there's still like, that's because it's split. Yeah. Not happy with the quality of the yarn at all. The splitting, it was not that hook, it's the yarn. Anyway, I am at the point now where I'm supposed to install my safety eyes. So I need to install them between rows 8 and 9, 6 stitches apart. So I have my stitch markers here to help me. So this is 8 and 9 right here, these two first. 8 and 9. We're gonna come up here and we're gonna do, I'll do one here, and then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches apart. I I got this tool a couple of months ago for safety eyes off of Amazon, and I will link this down below. This has been a game changer. I hurt my hands so much. So, and it will fit any size. Safety eye too. But yeah, I hurt my fingers so much trying to squeeze these together. So we are gonna put it on, slide that in there, line it up, and push. Boom. And it's on so much. Definitely, and it wasn't expensive. I think it was less than $10 for this. And we're gonna, okay. And then I'm gonna show you a little tip I do. If I am selling amigurumi or giving away toys, this still worries me for little ones, the eyes coming off. So this is what I do. I get a lighter and I heat up the black very carefully until it starts to melt. And then I'll take this and just squeeze that. And it needs to be a little bit hotter. And it just helps flatten it out so they really will not come out. I tested it and put an eye through and pulled like crazy on the safety eye, and I could not get it to come through. So it just, see how it flat, so this is the pointy edge here, pointy, and this is flattened now. And that is not, that's not gonna come off. So we'll do it again. Get it nice and hot. Take my safety tool, line it up, squeeze it, and now it's nice and flat. Safe for little ones to have now. Okay, now that we've added the eyes, we have to continue with the pattern until we can start stuffing. Okay, so I've started the body. And yes, it's a different day. I actually had to stop and walk away from this. It was getting late yesterday and I was getting frustrated. This yarn is terrible. I'm persevering because I want to finish this so I can show you a finished product. But if it wasn't for you all, I would have given up and decided not to do this. But I have a few notes I want to mention before I forget. So starting with the body, it would have been nice in the pattern if they had let you know that you're going to be starting from the bottom and working your way up. It's just a little thing like that, but it helps, especially if you're new to crochet and you're thinking, boy, this seems like an awful thin body. Well, we're making like the little swoop, if you can see at the end there. He's got like a little pointed bottom, kind of like a vintagey ghost, which I love. But if, like I said, if you're new to crochet, this would be concerning you, thinking you're doing something wrong because this was so thin. But no, you're going from the tiniest part up to the biggest part of the body. That would have been nice. The other thing is, I don't know why in the pattern they give you all these instructions and then shows you what the different stitches are. You don't use any of these in the pattern. None. All you're using is single crochet. You're not using double crochet. You're not using half double crochet. You're not using back loop only or front loop only crochet. You're not doing any of that. So I don't know why all this has to be here. And I get it's a Canadian company, so it's going to be in English and French. I don't have a problem with that. But if they hadn't done all this, they could have put maybe all the English on one side and all the French on the other and made it easier to keep track of the row, whatever you want to call it, round, I guess, because we are doing this in a round. So it's just little things like that that make crocheting a little bit more enjoyable for people. So yeah, so I've had to like fold it and force and then fold it again so I wouldn't lose my place. So if they had done what I said, had all English on one side, all French on the other, they probably could have made this font a lot bigger too. I know my eyes are getting older and I do have to wear reading glasses, but this is very tiny font and they're so close together. I just find, you know, when you look back up to see where you are, it takes me a few seconds. I'm like, wait, where am I? Because it's just so close together, it's hard to differentiate. So, like I said, these are little things that really make a pattern a great pattern. We're going to persevere. We've almost got the body done. We are going to finish up. Once the body's done, we move on to his little arms. and then his bow tie, and then he is finished. And I hopefully will have a finished project for you. But this little teeny ghost is taking me much longer than it should, and a big problem is the splitting yarn. It is awful, and he's gonna look terrible when he's done because of all the splits. And yeah, I'm glad I'm not giving him or trying to sell him, because there's no way I ever would give him away or sell him in the condition that he is in. Okay, we are on round 13 of the body. And another thing, that nowhere on the packaging does it say what level this would be at. It's not until you open it after you buy it and you open it up, and it has here skill level, intermediate. So that's another thing. Somebody who, you know, may be newer to amigurumi, you know, might not consider them, you know, like this is not a beginner friendly project at all. Zero, I would not say. So, but you would not know that until you bought it. So if they put intermediate somewhere on the packaging, that would be a better idea than just having it on the pattern, because how are you supposed to know that until you buy it and you open it? I don't want to sound like I'm hating on this, but I really am. I am not. This has not been an enjoyable crochet project at all. I don't like it, and I'm going to be honest too. I'm not a huge amigurumi maker. I find it's not my forte. I love the finished product when they're done, but while I'm making them and sewing together, I really dislike it. Like I said, once I'm done, I love it, but it's not something I find enjoyable to do all the time, so I don't do a lot. But when I do, I also use usually a size 3 hook, so I'm not loving this 2.5 hook, or even the size 2 hook. It is just, it's very tiny, and I find because it's so small and because I'm having to work so hard at the splitting and everything, my hands are really feeling it, making this little ghost. They really hurt. So now I finished the ghost. It's not my best work. I'm almost embarrassed to show you, but I want to show you because how he turned out and what I think of this. Okay, are you ready to see probably the worst ghost I've ever made? Yeah, he is not good. I tried to trim off the pieces that split, but there's still lots of lumps and bumps, and I'm just over it. I could have maybe made him a little better, but I'm just like, I'm not giving any more of my time to this little ghost because he took longer than he should have. It's, yeah, not good. And you might say, Lynn, he has arms. Yeah. You think the yarn split bad making him? It split terribly trying to make those little teeny arms. I gave up. My frustration level was high. My patience was gone. So no arms for the ghost. He's lucky he even got his bow tie because that split really bad too. So yeah, no arms. And then when I thought, okay, this can't get any worse, putting it through the darning needle to sew in the ends and to sew on the head, it split even worse than when I was crocheting with it. So I do not, this is a big thumbs down. Save your money. Do not buy these. They're just not worth it. I'm sorry, Love and Lemon. I wanted to love it. I did. Because one, I love ghosts for Halloween. It's one of my favorite things to decorate with. And the pumpkin is so stinking cute. And now, I might still make him, but use my own yarn. I might still make him. If I do, I will share in an upcoming video. If I have time to make him, I'm going to try and get him done in time for Halloween. But this is gone. Like I said, I'm embarrassed to show you because it is not the nicest thing I've ever made. It definitely looks like a very beginner. I don't consider myself a beginner. I don't consider myself an expert in crochet by any means. But I have made other ghosts that turned out really, really cute. I actually didn't get them out this year. I didn't get out a lot of my Halloween by the time Dave and I got back from all our traveling with my mom, and then I was sick. I just didn't have it in me, so just new things we bought this year have gone out. Even our outdoor's not out because we've had such bad windstorms. We haven't put out our outdoor decorations, and we live out in the country. We don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters, but anyway, I have made cuter ghosts. I promise you I have. This was a big, nope, I'm tossing that too. Not keeping it. Definitely a learning experience. Michael's has some Christmas ones out. We might be buying one of them and testing them here and see if they are any better. Loops and Thread make that. So I'm expecting the quality of the yarn to be better. Honestly, if they had just given me better yarn, I could have lived with all the inconsistencies maybe with the pattern or how the pattern was written, set up into directions. I could have moved past that. The yarn was terrible. So yeah, don't buy it. So that was my week. Lots of crocheting, lots of running around for different appointments and Gracie's birthday. I have plans to maybe start some gingerbread man hats this week. Oh, I also had an order. I also had to do a couple more pumpkin hats. I said I was all done, but this lady wanted 4 adult hats, and another lady needed a couple of children hats that I didn't have and I made in that size. So I had some yarn left in orange, so I did make those up too. So I also had the busyness of doing some more pumpkin hats, but now the pumpkin hats are done. Unless somebody wants some of the ones I already have made, I'm not making them. My brain has gone into Christmas mode. So I'm planning to start some gingerbread hats, gingerbread men hat and girl. Hoping to get a few of those done over the weekend so I can take them down the beginning of the week too to that shop to have for sale or to show her. And I have a couple other Christmas ideas I want to get done. I also have some gifts that I want to make for my mother and both my children and my husband. So I need to get going on them too, and we'll share along with that everything I'm making. My mom does watch my channel, so I probably won't show you what I'm making her until after she receives it. But the kids and my husband don't watch. I don't want them to, so this way I can actually share what I'm doing for them. So we'll definitely be sharing all that. And let me know down in the comments, what would you like to see going forward over the next couple of weeks? We'll see you next week, friends. Happy crocheting and stay healthy.